He's awake. We now have a small visitor. Hopefully it won't be too disruptive.
Okay, so this is a follow-on from our previous video of our most cherished memories.
Yes.
At all of the Disney parks we've been to. And this time,
we're going to talk about the most disappointing things that happened when we were at Disney. As a disclaimer, this isn't like us bitching about Disney or anything like that. It's literally just things that we experienced that we weren't too happy with. Some of them are our own faults.
Yes, some of them nature's fault.
Yes, and just as a reminder, the 3 parks we've been to are Disneyland Paris, Disney World Florida, and Disneyland California. So they will be the ones we're talking about, obviously.
Indeedy doody.
So the first disappointing thing that happened to us, which in the grand scheme of things is not the end of the world, just a little bit annoying, is when we went to Disneyland California in 2018. We went in November time, and at the time that we were there, there were lots of forest fires happening in the area, which is awful, horrible, not very nice at all. So that obviously meant that the one night that we were there for, when the fireworks were supposed to happen, the first day of the Christmas fireworks, they were cancelled for obvious reasons, but at the time, we were not happy bunnies.
Yes. It was very disappointing, but yes, like you say, there are worse things that could have happened.
And it was our last day in California Disney, and so we spent all our time in the parks, going on the rides, meeting characters, what have you, and then we managed to sidle in to a space amongst the crowds about 45 minutes before the fireworks were due to start.
Yeah.
There were some people that had been there all day waiting and set their cameras up right in front of the castle, had like the whole shebang, picnics, everything. They've been there all day waiting. The thing that frustrated us the most was, well, 2 things actually. Firstly is that we were waiting for about half an hour, and they said, we're not sure if the fireworks can happen because of high winds. And we were like, oh, that's so frustrating. But I'm sure they'll happen. And then it got to sort of the time of them to start, and it was like, no, not happening anymore. And it's like, why did you wait this long? You've been all day and you didn't think to say anything beforehand.
You're surrounded by people that are like, I think it's going to happen. Oh, they look amazing. Oh, it's going to be great. Oh, and then it didn't happen.
And then the thing, the most annoying thing I think that we found was that the Fantasmic fireworks still happened.
Yes.
And still to this day, I don't understand how that's possible that the Fantasmic fireworks could take place and the Disneyland in front of the castle ones couldn't. But that's a mystery that we'll never know. But I mean, we can insert the clips of us being cross.
Yeah. Disney had to cancel their first night of Believe in Magic, the fireworks holiday edition, which sucks because about half an hour before that they were doing Fantasmic, the 9:30 show, which had fireworks in.
Luckily we only waited for about 40 minutes for the show, so we only wasted 40 minutes of our time, as opposed to other people which have been camping out for about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's really bad. I mean, we've got Fantasmic at 10:30, so we're actually just going to mosey on round there and actually see if it's going to happen.
But yeah, it was disappointing, but like I said, we will go back to California at some point in the future and we will experience it.
With this little guy.
Yes, you're very heavy right now. What's going on?
Now, the next one, if you remember from our previous video,
we'll link it down below.
We'll link it down below. We had a day of going crazy for getting character autographs.
We did have a bit of a mission, and for some reason we decided we wanted to get all the characters we could possibly get during our Walt Disney World trip.
Yeah.
And looking back on it, it's just like, calm down.
Yeah, but it was fun. It kept us on our toes. It kept us, I mean, we literally hopped around parks and...
We became a bit of an obsession. Yeah. It was unnecessary, but it was fun.
It was fun. However, so this particular day we chose to go to Epcot and go around the World Showcase and collect as many characters as we can as possible. We had one last character to get, which was Belle.
Yes.
And
she's quite a main one as well, because Beauty and the Beast is like your favourite film, Disney film, and it's sort of like, well, it's a good classic Disney film, and it's, you know, the sort of, I say it's sort of one of the main Disney films that people like think of when they think of Disney. So we're like, we must get Belle. She'll be easy to get.
Yeah. Alas.
Yeah.
Thunderstorms. Thunder and lightning.
There were no thunderstorms though. That was the problem. Yes. Wasn't it? There were no thunderstorms. There was a threatening threatening thunderstorms. I think in Florida they must have some sort of weather gauge which tells you how far away a thunderstorm is.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we queued up to see Belle. We queued up on her allotted time. We waited there for about 10 minutes, and then a cast member happened to walk by, and he said, "Oh, Belle's not coming there today." And we're like, "What?" We just wasted like 10 minutes. No one's bothered to say anything. We weren't the only ones there.
Yeah. However, we were
very lucky.
We were very lucky, and we were walking back around the France Pavilion where Belle is, and we happened to just see her going into a building.
Yeah.
And
I don't know I can't remember what the building's called.
No.
It's like, well, it's the it's the main building.
Yeah. And we just kind of saw her in there, and we were like, "What?"
Yeah.
And we went and queued up, and as soon as we got through the door, the cast member shut the door, as it was her last time.
We just got her.
One more. Perfect.
Yes. So that story had a very good outcome, but it
was about like a good quarter of the afternoon moaning about the fact we couldn't get Belle's signature. And realistically, it's literally just it's an autograph. So the next disappointing things, which I'm sure that everyone experiences when they go to Disney, is awkward character meets. We had a few awkward ones. The top 3 that come to mind are Peter Pan.
Yeah.
These are all in Disney World. So Peter Pan, Stitch, and Merida.
Yeah.
3 very awkward meets. Now I'm not sure if it's because we're 2 adults meeting Disney characters, or because the characters weren't in the best of moods.
Or they were too hot, or they were coming to the end of their shift.
It was, well, Stitch was a tricky one.
So Stitch, we were waiting to see Stitch, and we were in the queue, and we were like, yes, we haven't met Stitch, he looks amazing. He was all really animated, meeting the characters, and then he went on his break, as characters often do
break
in the Florida heat. And when he came back,
he was very grumpy.
He was not the Stitch.
It happened twice, didn't he? Because so he went for a break and came back grumpy, went for a break, came back animated, went for a break, came back grumpy. We met him.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, you know, we'll insert the clip so you'll see. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the meet, nothing wrong at all. You wouldn't know there's anything wrong, but we do, because we were like, oh great, this one Stitch, he's like really like woohoo, 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 messing around with the people, having a great time. This Stitch was like this.
We definitely we definitely got into the whole meeting characters and then responding to us and actually like having a chat with them, or I don't know, them reacting to what we were wearing. So when he came out and he was like that, so
it's alright.
It's just video.
Okay, a video. Thank you. One last one. Thank you. Well done.
And Merida again, I think it's because we might have been 2 adults. She was just a bit like, I'll sign your book and on you go. And Peter Pan, I think Peter Pan was just really awkward. He was just asking us really odd questions.
Yeah.
And we sort of, you know, this was us. He was obviously doing his, you know, job as Peter Pan great. Yeah. We were both like, what are you asking?
Yeah. Oh, this is awkward.
Yeah.
As bad as Captain Hook. Captain Hook's the worst one. This was the I mean, really awesome. That's why you never want to go on that pirate ship. Trust me, it's supposed to.
Wednesday patrol here.
Yeah, like that'd been like sitting out in the sun for a while. Mixed with like moldy cheese and Thanks, Margaret. Do your plotting. Okay.
But
I mean, if you meet characters, you will know that you'll get some that are great and some that are not so great. And it's always going to happen at Disney. It's just the way it happens. But we were just a bit like, huh? To some yeah.
As it was our first time in Walt Disney World, we went crazy. We made sure that we were doing late nights, early mornings, late nights, early mornings, and we were trying to do it all in hindsight, we wish we kind of slowed down a bit.
I'll tag out what we regret at Disney World, because I did a video on that a few years ago. And one of the tips was that if you go for 2 weeks, do 1 week where you do early mornings and 1 week where you do late evenings, because if you do both of them, you burn out.
Yeah.
Like we did.
We burnt out.
Really badly.
And so we only saw the Good Morning show, which they do at the front of the park.
They don't do it anymore.
On the train.
They're taking it away now, which is really annoying.
But so this was the good morning, and we saw the tail end of it.
Well, no, we saw the whole thing.
But from
But
far.
we were walking through the security at the time, and so we wanted to obviously be there at the front of the station, seeing the whole thing. But annoyingly, we forgot that we had to go through the security bit when we were planning, when we were rushing together. We're like, oh no, we've made it in time, we've got there, and then we were like, oh crap, we've got to get through the silly old bag check and all that. So we did see it, but it just wasn't as we would have liked to have seen it.
Yeah.
It was just a smidgen irritating, but not the end of the world. But now they've taken it away, it is a bit frustrating.
Now they've taken away, it is the end of the world.
It is, yeah. So the next thing is a very odd one. So coming back from the awkward character meet, is that I insulted Donald Duck by accident. Well, I say insult. It was a sort of a thing where I said something and Donald looked at me like, what? And I was like, oh, and I panicked. So it was in Hollywood Studios where you meet Donald and Daisy in their house. So we queued up for 20-25 minutes. We met Donald Duck. You were showing him
Vans.
really cool Vans, and he was trying to sign our autograph book. And I said, at least you don't have to, oh no, what was I saying? Yeah, and then I said something like, it must be really hard to sign wearing gloves to Donald Duck. I said this to Donald Duck. Donald Duck was like, what? And like showed me his hand. I was like that. And I was like, oh no, I mean like Mickey Mouse wears gloves. Because I thought for some reason that Donald Duck wore gloves. Like Jenny thought he wore gloves. I didn't think of it like, but you know, but like it doesn't matter. But at the same time, I'm like, embarrassing.
You're like, okay, thank you so much.
I think we can say, I'm sure in the clip I say it, but you can't hear me say it, but you might be able to see none of that.
In the background, like,
walk like that, just disappeared into the floor. I just, you know, it's not the end of the world at all, but I was just like, no!
Back into a bush.
The most random thing that's ever happened to me ever is I got seasick on Garden Grill. I don't have travel sickness. I've never had travel sickness before in my life. Sean gets travel sick.
Yeah.
The Garden Grill rotates
very
incredibly slowly, like so slowly. I was sat there and we ate our food and I was like, I felt sick. I felt seasick. I was like, what has happened? Sean, for goodness sake, can't read in cars because he gets nauseous.
Because I'm driving.
I can read happily in cars, no issues at all. I can go on all the rides, not an issue at all. On this breakfast rotisserie restaurant,
more for me.
I had to go sit on a still piece of land outside. I couldn't believe it.
Caroline's had to go and stand on non-moving ground because she's feeling a little dizzy. Oh, bless her. Which leaves me to eat all the food.
Good old Florida weather.
Good old Florida weather. So this was, we had rain at both parks, didn't we? Or did we not? No. So this will be when we went to the water parks.
I planned Disney World meticulously, day by day, hour by hour, more or less.
Yeah.
And Typhoon Lagoon, I planned it, half a day there. It was going to be perfect.
It was going to be sunshine. It was going to be the best water park in the world. It rained.
The whole time.
It rained horrendously, like
Chucked it down.
horrendously. We got there and we found a few spots to place our towels.
Yeah.
When we got there, it wasn't raining.
Obviously, yeah.
So we put our towels down. We put our bags,
changed.
got changed. Put our bags in the lockers and took out what we needed. The essentials, left them just underneath our beds, and then we went to explore. And we were having a really good time. And then the clouds came over, went all dark, and the heavens opened. I think we were up the
We
top.
we continued to stay. I can't remember. We were on top of a ride.
Yeah, we got footage of being on top of the ride trying to protect ourselves from like collapsed umbrellas, trying to stop the rain. It'll pass.
We continue with the
Yeah.
day. We were like, you know what? It's raining. It's not cold. We'll just go on all the rides while we can. There's no point. It did ease up a little bit, but just some of it was absolutely chucking it down.
Yeah.
Then
The problem we
irritating
had
thing was though,
when we came back to our towels,
They were drenched.
They were absolutely drenched. Understandable. They were outside without a cover,
Yeah.
being rained on. What annoyed us most was the fact that there was a family sitting right next to us who were
underneath the proper thing.
was
that
under shelter. They saw us arrive. They saw us leave. If it was us, we would have taken the towels in so they weren't
Or just
drenched,
pulled the lounges or something. Yeah.
or done something. But no, they sat there and they.
I know. When I say family,
Yeah.
I mean like it was like the mum and dad and kids. And I think the mum was the sort of parent family where she would sit and guard the stuff all day.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like they all got off and left and we expected them to move our stuff. I think they had been there all day.
I mean, we weren't expecting them to look after our stuff at all, but it was
Common
because it was
courtesy.
raining. Yes, common courtesy of just going. Oh, that they look like they've just arrived and they've put their towels down whilst it was dry. Let's
Yeah.
just take them in quickly so they don't get drenched, and then I'm not going anywhere. When they come back, here are your towels. They're dry. We saved them for you.
And the frustrating, well, I did do a little bit of lying to the staff at Typhoon Lagoon because we stayed on, because we were staying on site at the Contemporary. You're allowed to take towels with you from the Contemporary to water parks. We didn't do that because we're like, we've got towels here. To rent out a towel at Typhoon Lagoon, you had to pay like £6 to rent a towel. Obviously our towels are absolutely drenched, we only have one each, and I was
Yeah.
like, we can't get dry, they're completely drenched. And so I said to the man at the towel counter, can I get some towels please? And he said, you have to pay $6. And I was like, what? And so I did end up saying that, and obviously, you know, it's a little bit cheeky to be fair, like it's absolutely torrential rain and they say you've got to pay for towels. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
but I did say that we had the towels that were drenched were our towels from the Contemporary. Like I said, I rented towels, took towels from the Contemporary and they were drenched. The Disney towels, and he was like, oh, then you can just swap them out then. And I was like, okay, bye.
I'll take these dry ones and I'll bring your ones back. Okay, bye.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously it doesn't matter
Yeah.
because give me a towel, man.
But
It's just stingy.
like we said, that was nothing. That was literally nature's fault.
One disappointing thing, I don't care if you disagree with us, we're correct, you're wrong. The Disneyland Paris fireworks are crap. Moving on.
Yes, they don't have.
They're not wishes.
They're not wishes.
And they've got Pirates of the Caribbean in it, it doesn't make sense, I don't like them.
Yeah,
They're no good.
they're just. Yeah.
They're no good. Anyway, next
Moving
one.
on. So another water parks one. This was again on our character hunting obsession. We didn't realise there were character meets at the water parks.
Yeah.
So we got there and we didn't take the vlogging camera. We took the GoPro, and it was.
Was it Typhoon Lagoon or was it the other one?
We're not
Blizzard
sure.
Beach. Who knows?
Who knows?
Man.
But anyway, we were walking to go and find some beds to put our towels on, and we saw Lilo walk past, and we were like,
We went, oh great, and I was like, we haven't got the autograph book.
we don't have the vlogging camera, we don't have any. I was like,
And you can't be hearing her, or you couldn't be hearing her, so I don't know about now, but
yeah.
damn it! The next disappointing thing that happened to us was both at Disneyland California and Disneyland Paris are the hotels we stayed at. So, the Disneyland California, we stayed at the Sheraton Hotel. Nothing wrong with the hotel, perfectly fine. We switched rooms, and that's what made it better afterwards. When we first
Ellis agrees.
When we first booked the Sheraton Hotel, the Virgin Holidays person said, you can have a park view room if it's available.
Yeah.
And we were like, great. So then we got to the hotel, checked in, we said it was a honeymoon, and the man was like, I don't care.
Yeah, it was nice.
We checked in, we took our bags up to the room. Bear in mind, it had been a 11-hour flight, a 2-hour taxi ride, 2-hour taxi drive to the hotel, and then we checked into our room, tired, opened the curtains, and there was a car park. We were on the 2nd floor facing the road.
Yeah, literally.
And it was a car park, and we were like, what? This isn't a park view room, what on earth? So we went downstairs and had a call. Well, no, we phoned them.
Yeah.
We went downstairs and they did change it for us. We did get a park view room in the end. Park view room, you think
We'll show the clip of what our park view room was.
There's enough space for 2 chairs. Why do they even bother? They may as well have not bothered. Just get rid of it. What's the point? There is the Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Open the...
And then over here, no wait, I'm showing the best bit. Here, there's a part of Disney View. Look there, that there.
It's moving, it's moving.
It's the top of the Ferris wheel. That there.
In Pixar Pier, or whatever it's called.
There. So that was, I mean, it was resolved, it was fine, not an issue at all. The problem we had at Disneyland Paris, on the other hand, we stayed at the Cars Hotel. If we were to go back to Disneyland Paris, we would not stay at the Cars Hotel.
Some people love it, and we understand, like, it's literally visit by visit basis, and we just clearly had a bit of a bad visit to that hotel.
The Cars Hotel, when we stayed there, I think they just banned smoking in France.
Oh, yeah, or in the hotels.
Maybe, yeah, because every room we stayed, I think we switched room 3 times in Paris, and bear in mind we were only there for 4 days.
Yeah.
We woke up in the morning of our first day there. Our room stank of cigarette smoke because people down the hall were smoking, even though there were signs saying no smoking allowed. We switched rooms, and the same thing happened again. And we phoned up reception. They were like, "There's nothing we can do about it." But obviously, we're not smokers, and the smell of cigarettes is not our favourites. Obviously, if we're walking down the street or whatever, then people do what you want to do. But in a hotel, do you have to smoke in your room? No, go outside and smoke properly.
And this would be sort of like as soon as you wake up in the morning, and we were waking up early to go to the parks.
So it wasn't the nicest. So and then the room itself was not as well themed as maybe some of the other hotels' rooms are. So yeah, it's not a hotel we'll stay at again.
No.
But yeah, it's a live and you learn situation.
Tell us again!
He's getting grumpy in the playpen. Right.
Yay! So the last one, very quickly, was no one's fault but our own. Yeah, it was that. Okay, see you later, guys. Please subscribe. Okay, so the last one.
Never work with children or animals.
It was remembering to download the PhotoPass pictures.
Yes. Disneyland California don't let you keep them for, was it a year that Walt Disney World does it for?
And
in California, it's only in like a few weeks. We didn't download all the pictures from Disneyland California, so we missed out on quite a few pictures.
Are you quite finished? Yeah? So yeah, remember to download your pictures, otherwise you lose them.
Yes, very disappointing in that, because there were some good ones.
I mean, we have some, but we've lost quite a few. Anyway, we're gonna go. This guy needs to be changed. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and we shall see you again later. You gonna wave?
You gonna wave?